What's up guys, it's the Sluicers here. We're just heading in this valley to one of our favourite mining sites. We'll catch you once we get down there. Come across a bit of a low roadblock which we're having to cut through, but I thought I'd quickly set up the sluice in this little side creek and I put a bunch of material through, so we'll have a look at that and see if this side creek has any gold. But in the meantime we'll keep soaring, and once we get through we'll get down to our insane spot and see what we can get. Okay, so we're back at our hole. As you can see, just here was where we dug out last time, not even particularly deep, so we'll dig back through that overburn to the spot. But we came in and did a quick little test pan in that material, not even that big of a pan, and look at all that gold in there. All those flakes of gold, and they're quite solid bits too. Boom, 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 boom. So probably about 20 flakes in that one pan, just there, which is absolutely mental. So, gonna get to digging. Okay, so we've done a little bit more material. We've done 3 buckets in total, just going along the surface, cleaning this off. This was our old hole, but it appears that stuff in there we still haven't got to. It was quite a small hole, and 1.3 grams for the amount of work we did. It was like mental. And there's all the material here. We've done 3 buckets through the sluice. The creek's quite low today, so it took a while to set up the sluice. But we've just done a few little test pans off the surface, and this is a little black pan. It's not little, but it's a smaller pan. And look at all that colour. That's one test pan, not even classified.
Yeah, that was my test pan actually.
All that.
I found that. Thanks very much.
It's like $1 small test pan, maybe $2 worth of gold in that one pan, which is mental for one little pan. And then I went upstream to where it gullies out a bit more, and I found this bend where on the surface you can consistently get gold like that. That's probably about 12-15 bits, but they're a little bit smaller. But that's also a bigger pan, so comparison, this spot's probably quite a lot better. But that spot is another spot we can resort to if this doesn't do well. But we've got 3 buckets through the sluice, probably about the same amount of work we did the whole time last time, and we'll pan that out and see what we get. So we haven't even done the clean up yet, and I just emptied the snuffer, and this is the gold from test pans alone. That's probably...
Test pan ones.
Yeah, this is just from probably the dozen or so test pans that have been done. It's really not focusing again, but that's probably almost a 1/4 gram of gold just from test panning. It's nuts, absolutely mental. So we'll clean that out, the sluice out, and add that to the total, and we'll see what we get.
G'day everyone, we're just about to do the clean up of like 3 buckets over there. See what this looks like. I'm predicting 1/2 gram. What's your prediction, Dylan?
I reckon I'm going for a full gram.
Nah.
Easy.
Nah.
Easy, if not more.
Not for half an hour's work.
Right, considering how much it was in the test pan.
Nah, it was a good hour or two. Oh, there's a bit of gold.
There's a bit of gold here. Holy look at that. That's no way is that. That's at least a gram. That is absolutely
That's all mine,
nuts.
Dylan, because I did all the work. You
Look at that.
disappeared.
All those, like,
You disappeared.
those are all... Oh, I've lost it.
Oh man, that's the best 3 bucket haul everything we've ever done. You beauty!
Yeah, like that. All those big...
Yep,
Lots
definitely.
of big bits and
Definitely not going back to work. It's all
Oh,
over.
that's a huge bit. That's a nice picker. Oh, heaps of gold in there.
Heaping.
3 buckets. That is absolutely nuts.
Mother Lord, you beauty!
Insane.
Yeah! Ah, yeah!
Woo! It's day 2 and we're back down at the hole. Last night from those 3 buckets, 1.2 grams out of 3 buckets. It was absolutely crazy. But sadly, last night we couldn't even really get the little sluice set up here good. But it just absolutely bucketed down and the creek went from being super low to quite substantially high. And so I've had a lot of trouble setting up the sluice. It's set up down there. When we first set it up after our first bucket, we knocked it and we had to take it out straight away or we would have lost all our gold. So we cleaned it out after that 1 bucket this morning. And not quite as good overall as last night, but still bloody good for 1 bucket. That's a nice solid, not even picking it up, that's a nice solid decent picker there, probably like 0.04, 0.05. That's a nice wee piece. And quite a bit of fine gold, I'd say 0.3, a third of a gram. So that still adds up to about a gram for 3 buckets at that rate, which is still pretty damn good. I think we kind of, it seems to be very best on the surface, and it gets a bit weaker, but we're hoping when we hit the clay layer, it'll get even richer again. Because we're not really sure how deep the clay is here, but we can see there, those are some clay walls along there. So it surely probably won't be too deep considering there's visible clay on the sides. Hopefully maybe 2 or 3 feet deep. So we'll see if we can hit that. But that's pretty damn good for 1 bucket and 3 buckets last night. We're up to what, probably about 1.5 grams for 4 buckets, which is absolutely mental. So we're going to continue digging in here. At this rate, we've got all of today and all of tomorrow. If we dig all out, might be our best trip yet. Get back into it. Come look at this, guys. Huge piece of gold. Right there, look at that beauty. That's a massive picker. Massive bit. Heaps of gold all through there. And that's from the top of that much of the second bucket. Absolutely mental. This spot is absolutely broken. But yeah, we'll keep digging. So we've got another 5 buckets in. You see the hole there. We've had quite a few big rocks that we've struggled to move out. So that was kind of a hassle. They were deep in the hole, but we managed to get them out. Still haven't managed to hit the clay. It's reasonably deep, not too deep, but it's like knee depth. We've got the sluice because the creek, as I told you before, the creek flooded last night, so it was really high. But the flow on the sluice is just going down and down. It's barely enough. As you can see, there's all gold all through those top mats. There's gold everywhere. And it is also getting quite full of black sand. So we might give that a quick clean out. And we'll see what we get from those 2 buckets. The first bucket, as you saw, really good. Second, third, and fourth, so the first 3 that went through here were also really good, but the last 2, that stuff, I think it was the overburden from last time, because we dug our hole last time here, and it was, yeah, really just very, very minimal gold in that, but hopefully we're back through that layer again and back to the good stuff. But we'll clean that out and show you what you get.
It's been a long time coming, I ain't seen nothing. Help me please. Out of breath I'm running, the bridge is burning after me.
Not too crazy, but still a shitload of gold in there. Ooh, those are huge too. Look at those bits. Those are probably 0.1 of a gram each. I'd say it's a good, probably 1.5 grams. So not quite as good as that surface stuff last time. It was 3 buckets and 1.3 grams. But assuming this is 1.5 grams, I reckon it's probably about 5 buckets for 1.5 grams is still exceptionally good. So up to 2.8 grams now for a total of 8 buckets. So we'll get back into it.
Seen nothing, help me please. Out of breath I'm running, the bridge is burning after me. Life don't seem like it used to. Love don't feel like it used to. Oh no, oh no.
We've just done another 5 buckets out of the hole. We're just cleaning it out now, so we've done a total of 12 buckets today, I think. I think we've hit the clay. There's either a massive clay rock there, or we have actually hit the clay layer and it's just like that and then drops off. But heaps of gold on the clay. Every shovel load you'd see fresh bits of gold appear in the sluice. So there's definitely a lot of gold in there. And we'll just clean that out. We'll pan that out and see what we get from these 5. Fingers crossed it's good. Okay, so we just cleaned out those 5 buckets, and as expected, there's a lot of gold in there. Probably another, 2 grams from those 5 buckets? Absolutely bonkers. That probably brings the total for the day. I'm not sure exactly, obviously, because I haven't weighed it up, but I reckon we might have 5 grams for what? Only 13 buckets, and we're not even done for the day yet. We're going to get back to digging more. Absolutely mental. I don't reckon there's any too massive bits in there. There's a few pickers around there. Those are probably like 0.05 each. Nothing too massive, but still a ton of gold in there. Absolutely mental. So, get back to digging. So we've done another 10 buckets, which will be our final buckets for now. So we dug down, it was really good, you saw it, grams and grams of gold all through there. And then we hit the clay, and for the next few buckets, it was absolutely insane. We were probably getting close to 1 gram every bucket. No,
Not that much.
not that much, but probably like 0.5 gram a bucket. But then it just got, once we cleaned off that bit of the clay, it just got weaker and weaker. It's still good, nowhere near as good as it was. But other 10 buckets, this also includes a little bit from yesterday, but the last 10 buckets, have a look at this. Right. Look at that gold. Absolutely bonkers. That's got to be as much as all of yesterday combined. Yeah, absolutely insane. It didn't look like too much in the sluice because of all the black sand. It was just all sinking at the bottom of the dream map. But boy, is that a lot of colour there. But yeah, so what, yesterday and the day before I think it was 17 buckets. And that was, I can't even remember now, what, 5 grams? And this was what, 10? And boy, that was a lot of colour. So, we'll soak that up, we'll weigh it up, and I reckon we might have a new record trip. Also record for like gold per bucket as well. Absolutely mental. So we'll get that, check it out, and see you then. So we're back at base with the weigh up. So here's the gold from the 3 days. So there was the one half day, which was 3 buckets, the next day, which was 17 buckets, and then the third day, which was only 10, but that was probably as good as the first and second day combined, 20 buckets. So it averages out to what? I'd probably say give it almost, what, I'd reckon at least a third, maybe half a gram a bucket. But here is all the gold from the trip there. You can see a few of those big bits. In fact, I think there was a big bit I spotted in the sluice earlier in the video. Quite a few big chunky bits, but mostly finer gold there. Not too many massive pickers, but weighed up. So this little dish weighs 3.3 grams. So you subtract that from the total, and there's maybe, what, pushing at, let's say, half a gram of black sand in there, just there, and a few little bits through there. So subtract, what, 3.8 grams off whatever the total is. So let's weigh it up. And the total is 13.94 minus 3.8. That's 10.14 grams of gold for one trip. That is absolutely and utterly mental. That's completely legendary. It was, yes, a very big trip. Very big trip. Like, well, a lot of material at least. Like, we went pretty much straight to the spot and dug it just about the whole weekend. But that is still insane. 10 grams of gold in one 2.5 day trip. Look at that beautiful stuff. Stoked. Before we end it, I just want to give a massive thank you to all our channel patrons, and an exclusive thank you to William Knoll, the Gold Motherlode tier patron. If you're interested in becoming a patron as well, and throwing a bunch of support behind the channel while receiving a ton of bonus perks, make sure to check the link in the description below. Now, we'll see you on the next one. But yeah, that is our new best trip now. Beat the record for our previous best trip ever video. Now second best trip. Yeah, that's totally epic. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to smash down on that subscribe and like button if you haven't already. And we'll catch you on the next one.